Hello, everyone. What you looking at, camera? What's so exciting up there? I'm over here. I know you're excited by yourself. You're looking at your other products. How we doing tonight, everyone? Hi, I'm Chef JT. Happy Friday to you. Happy Can It Be Delicious Day. What's new? What's happening? Hi there, JK. Welcome in, Nan Reader. Hi, Soph. Welcome. Might need to get rid of that if it's gonna flash every time I open it. Well, we'll just hide it for now. I created a proper overlay for the votes, and that was it flashing at the beginning when I switched scenes here. Okay there. Let's make some coffee. Other camera's working. It's good to know. Welcome, Penode. Well, tonight is my once a month reoccurring theme. Chad is going to vote on 5 cans out of 25, and I'm going to have to make dinner from those 5 cans and what else I've got around the house. I do try to have some other things to help me along the way. But I would say I have less in this house than the typical TV show and pantry section. I forgot to start a timer. Oopsies. We'll get going with that as soon as I get my coffee done. So the honest answer is I really have no clue what I'm making for dinner tonight. There's all sorts of possibilities. I've added all sorts of new and funky cans in there. Got some fun new combinations that could happen. Just that I'm thinking of off the top of my head in here. One of them being you can give me way too much potato. It's just the Hario V60. Wake up, camera. Okay, where are you, camera? Ooh, do we have double captions going here? That's interesting. Well, that's fun. I guess my angle camera isn't working tonight. I didn't know that was happening, but I am coming up to some I am coming up on some overloads with USB drivers, but that's running off of a video card or a capture card. What's so special about it? I wouldn't say that there's anything special about it. It's cheap, and it's a great way if you want to try all sorts of different coffees. It's not like a huge coffee system that's going to get stuff stuck in the pipes or anything along that line. Now we have all sorts of pods that do stuff, but what's so special about it is, I don't know if the current price is that, but let's say 2 or 3 years ago, that cone that I'm using, this is my travel cone, is $6 online, something along that line. And the nicer one that I broke recently, made of glass that I normally use, I just looked it up online the other day, is $28. I'm familiar with Hoffman. But I used to use these I used to do coffee at farmers markets, and so I used to use Hario for the farmers market setup, and yeah, all that stuff. Not a very foamy half and half there, Clover. It certainly wasn't just James Hoffman that did Hario, though. It's actually sort of strange that Hario became a thing in coffee, because they're not really a coffee company. They've certainly moved into coffee a lot heavier since the success of the V60, but they're really just like a glass company. They're just like a Japanese glass company that struck it rich with the perfect coffee cone that you can use for all sorts of mugs and stuff, sort of a thing. But regardless of how you make your coffee, thank you for joining me for mine. Cheers. Press pots are sort of finicky. Like, I haven't used one enough to feel confident about them. But my basic knowledge of them and using them as little as I have, it's such a larger grind, and so it's typically a longer soak thing than most other coffees. And I think if people want to, it's not something you shouldn't really rush any coffee, but certainly shouldn't rush a press. But like I said, there's probably 1,000,001 small little factors. Like, coffee is a bit like yeast in that, like, the roast, how much air it's gotten since it's been roasted, how long it's been since it's been roasted, how long since it's been ground, water to grind ratio, yada, 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 temperatures. And all of them can have an effect. I did something daring today. I got rid of the list. Okay, I made the list digital. We're no longer working off of paper for what cans are which anymore. We still have 1 or 2 secret cans that I have no idea what they are. But, yeah. Let me set up our first poll here of the evening for our first. Alright, 3 minutes for our first poll, 2 minutes for the polls after this. Oh, hey. Let's restart that one. Let's get the cans out here so everyone can see what we're working with here first. Alright, there we go. And need to make that visible. It is so faint, you can't hardly tell anyone has voted there or not. You sort of faintly tell there on the cutting board. Wow, that's so bad. That didn't work. Let's try white. Sort of shows. Huh, why is that so bad? We got a lead for 3 there. We're down to our last minute. Change perspectives. Maybe that helps in your decision making. Yeah, making. That's. Number 3 is our first winning can. Good number to start off with. I know it's not kids' favorite number these days, but see if I can't just pick it out of history. So, mystery can, green pigeon peas, mixed chili beans, and white navy beans were the cans that weren't picked there. Of the beans. Stay. Round 2. This is the fun tin. This is the one that's got all the interesting ones in there that aren't meat that everyone's like, oh, you should want that one. Even vote now between 1, 3, and 4. One's the mini can there. No labels in there, so if you're thinking you're seeing something, you're not. Is 3 gonna get it? It's the colorful one. It's even got a colorful pull tab. I don't remember what it is. Beef gravy. Sausage country gravy. Green enchilada sauce. Cajun potatoes and peppers. It's like it's perfectly off. Can't. Gotta turn half of them either way. Alright, new poll. Off to an early tie there. Early three-way ties twice in a row now. Ooh, four-way tie. Just to let you know, I do not have a die, so I can't be like, we'll just throw a die up instead of doing a quarter flip. Yes, I don't have... I don't even have, like, normal dice or die. I certainly don't have a times 20. Ooh. 3 and 4 going at it. This seems longer than 2 minutes. Isn't it strange how things always seem like they last longer than when you're, like, paying attention to the time? Any of various marine fish of the type Triglydidae that have a large armored head and finger-like pectoral fins used for crawling along the sea bottom. Ooh, we get another vote between 3 and 4. One minute on this poll. I wonder if Twitch messes with the time length to give lag a chance. Like, I know most streams you're somewhere between 15 and 30 seconds delayed in many cases. Or 15 milliseconds to 30, like, not seconds. But there's a delay. Like, seriously, this is a minute? You know, you think about those times like the 6 minutes of terror that occurred, or I forget. There's several scenarios that are like that where and then you sit there silent for like 20 seconds. So can number 3-1. Oh, let's go through the ones that lost. Mandarin oranges. Dark sweet cherries. Last time I had cherries, I had tart ones, and so I got dark sweet ones. That's the new addition here. See what the two different types are like out of the can. They're both Oregon brand. We have something that's not on my list. Relatively certain this is peaches. An organic pumpkin. And pull the piece of paper out still. It's apparently still needed. Yep, peach. I thought I went through it clearly. Let me quick add that to the list. Okay. Next vote. Second to last vote. Early vote for 4. Canned Mandarin was... I just replaced that one too. It won in the first round of this game. Which, they're nice for salads, they're nice for fun, interesting things. I don't think they're so great for actual desserts. Like, maybe if you're putting them, like, on top of a dessert of, you know, molded chocolate or something like that. But... like, they could be used for chocolate bark or for garnish on, like, an orange dish, or... but I don't really see them as being, like, the filling in mini orange dishes. Got a tie between 3 and 5. We have a deciding vote out there. Ooh, we got another runoff. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that Twitch does account for lag because that timer hasn't. It just started. Yeah. We're back to tied. Am I gonna have to flip a coin? Oh. I guess we're flipping a coin. Let's say heads for 3, tails for 5. Three gets it. Let's see the ones you didn't pick. Carrots, mushroom pieces and stems, asparagus spears, fire roasted tomatoes, ah. Trying to get them all on camera. And for our last poll, hopefully, of the evening, we have the odd-sized cans. Got votes for 2, 3, and 4. No love for the big cans. Nan Reader just killing the scramble tonight. Well, Soph, I guess, winning too. But I keep seeing Man Meter win. Ooh. Chat pulling ahead for 4. That's good. I need to eat this. We need to get this out of the house. If this is what I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Pretty sure this is the Croatian potted meat. Yep. The things that didn't win. Cocktail weenies. Corned beef hash, Costco chicken, and roast beef. Alright, so that leaves us with, as I said, Croatian potted meat, whatever this ends up being. Let's get rid of that overlay. There we go. Let's see here. We have potatoes. We have cranberry sauce. This is the weird one, I think, tonight. Well, I don't know. What we got here? Hormel chili, Coney Island style, with onions and mustard, but no beans. And pinto beans. Sliced taters. Oh, now I don't know if I want to eat. Now I don't. Oh. Oh. Is that a 3 or a 7, chat? You see the 2020... distinctive cat food vibes. Hey, Saucy. Welcome. Got any canned vegan haggis? No, can't say that I do. That's another one of those. Why? Like, isn't haggis mostly vegetarian to begin with, other than how it's prepared? Oh, dad joke, are you serious? Oh, that one's rough. Texture. Open. Oh, cranberry. There we go. And that's like straight up cranberry jelly. And those are beans. Torn right now if I do everything together or the cranberry as some form of dessert. Like, I'm sort of thinking, like, what I'm really thinking about the rest of this is nacho time. I wish I had other potatoes around the house, or I wish I had onions in the house today too. That'd be good too. I'm almost done with my coffee. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Saucy. I was thinking cran in sort of salsa. Now the other question is, do we saute and toss on the potatoes, or do we make the potatoes into the tortillas? Zeke's, welcome in, by the way. I didn't see you sneak in here. Yeah, I'm generally gonna be okay. I don't know why, but if it's veg, I'm probably gonna be a little bit more okay with it than something that's meat or protein based going past date. Though, as I sit here and think about that, there's no real logic behind that, because vegetables can spoil just as badly as proteins, especially in a can like this. Okay, cranberry crumble, potato tortillas, and nachos. Let's start by draining taters. I'm gonna need that later. Flour. Fat. What am I going to use for fat in this? Not a big fan of bacon fat in my tortillas. I've tried that a couple of times. It's just too potent. Like, it's just too much. Can going away time montage. Lard would be among my choice picks for that. Except I don't have any lard. I haven't had any lard in a little while. I'm gonna go with what I went with last time. We're gonna do veg oil, but I'm gonna do avocado spray oil for a fair amount of it. I don't want to use a potato masher on this, so it might be a good start. I think I want to use that spoon, actually, after I get my hands ungunkified. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in this username. Yeah, we're just going to use... I maybe should have done this before I added the flour, because the flour is going to gunk things up a little bit, but... obviously an exact science with how much flour I added. I'm going to say in the ballpark of a cup with that can of potatoes. And the fat to make our tortillas. Still too chunky, but we're getting there. I'm going to say that's still too wet, considering it's sticking to my hand, so we're going to have to add some more flour to that. Yeah, still a bit too sticky. I'm going to let this rest and we're going to roll this out into tortillas. We get it out in one piece. That was easy. Didn't even make any inappropriate noises. Low flame, just melting it. Just melting it. Go ahead and drain these beans while that's going. In fact, I am rinsing these beans. Mostly because I don't love the smell that I'm getting off of them. Chat's like, why do you do this if you just complain about it the entire time? Tinny may be one way of describing it. Why haven't you melted it all? And then I come over here and it slides just as I was about to touch it. Okay, switching to dessert. Switching to dessert. You're gonna grab you. We're gonna melt some butter as well. Well, hey, why not? I feel like I'm gypped when I get a butter stick that's like this. Like, where's my butter? What'd you do with my butter? Where'd my butter go? I want my 20 cents in butter. Forgot what I was getting butter for. I need a bit more butter than that. Yeah. It's got a hole in it. Nope, need you melted. Another 20. Back over to melting cranberry. Just gonna go ahead and add my cinnamon in with the cranberry. I prefer them to, even though I like graham crackers, and I grew up on graham crackers, I prefer them to graham crackers. Graham crackers. Graham crackers. Okay, I needed to do this in a bag. I thought it was going to be cutesy doing it in my hands. This is clearly not working fine enough for making a nice crust. Alright, there we go. Now that's nice and pulverized. Sugar. Why did I get rid of you back? I still need you. I don't advocate grabbing things out of the trash, but it was fine. Does the 5-second rule count in the trash too? No. So a slightly dry layer there in between. Have we fully melted yet, cranberry? No, we're just sitting here boiling instead of melting. Here, let's try this. I was trying to be cutesy and just melt it on end the entire time, but this is not working well, so we just want it melted. Ooh. That sounds like a winner too. Like, satisfying and not a bank breaker. And yeah. It very much wants to, so if it very much wants to remain a can shape rather than melting into liquid form. It's almost disturbing. Did I have the butter out still? I do. It's gonna drive you nuts when that one happens. It's really eggy. Okay, another hint. Starts with U. Peanuts. Because those are the nuts I have in the house. Trying to think of anything else I want to throw in there as far as a topping for this. Melt! I want you melt. I want you melt. Yeah, that's another, like, Facebook very much wants to sell me 3D printers. Like, every other message I see on Facebook is some sort of 3D printer when I could care less about it. Like, I think 3D printers are cool. I don't really read a whole lot about them because I don't really have a place for one here. And I certainly don't want one indoors. Like, if I had a garage or a shed or something, that'd be cool, but I don't want melted plastic fumes in my house. And the other one is cat. Like, social media just wants me to have a cat. I'm shocked how many, like, I don't get dog stuff. There's a little dog stuff, but, like, compared to the cat stuff, like... And I'm allergic to both cats and dogs, so I mean... I'll throw a little water in there, it'll bake off anyway, so it'll help melt it. I'm not adding a lot, though. Yep, I'm part of the roughly 16% of people who are allergic to cats or dogs, or both. Actually, I don't know if it's cats and dogs, 16%, but... Powdered eggshell. Calcium? Carbo's there. I don't know what the rest of it spells. Did I say... I said I said words. I said carbon, didn't I? And that's not the word that I meant to say. And even worse, now I don't know what the word was that I was trying to say, because it wasn't carbon. Tired of waiting. Doesn't even have to be perfectly smooth, just can't be super chonky. I'm going with that. Nice, so. Okay, let's get this on a pan just to make sure it doesn't leak all over my oven. Alright, oven's preheating. Back over to tortillas. Yeah, this is still feeling pretty wet. Those potatoes holding quite a bit of moisture. I think we can work with that though. It's actually getting a little bit better the more I work with it at this point, which is surprising. Usually you work a dough and it gets softer because you're working the dries into the wets and they're getting wet. It's like, what did I get on my knife? Is that ketchup? Not thinking about, oh yeah, cranberry sauce. These are definitely going to need a bit of flour. Be a bit more freeform with our tortillas, the more, since we're using them for nachos. Is there a theme for the word scramble? They're all relatively food related, food industry, loosely, but it's international and it's loosely. We're up to, I think it's 2,400 words in the dictionary that it's using. It's just a custom text file that I've put together of words that are somewhat food related. Hey Dragon Sage. Welcome. Happy Friday to you. For anyone just joining in, probably a good time to recap. We're doing Can It Be Delicious tonight. So out of 25 cans, chat voted for 5. We've got chili beans, we've got chili, we've got Croatian pork, force meat, patty meat, essentially Spam, but in a different can. We've got cranberry sauce and potatoes. And so we're using the potatoes to make our tortillas tonight that are going to turn into nachos. And then we're going to do the beans, meat, chili, and maybe a cheese sauce after we fry our fresh made tortillas from potatoes. So that is the plan for this evening. And right now we've got our cranberry peanut, I forgot the name of them as I was trying to say it. Biscoff. So we have a peanut Biscoff cranberry crumble. And then we're going to have nachos. and start rounding our tortillas. Or searing them. These might take a little longer to cook as I'm thinking about this, because the potato in them. It is that one, when I felt that and flipped that, it actually was feeling like it was getting softer, which if you think about potatoes, it makes sense if they're cooked potatoes, they're going to get softer as they heat. And so we probably have to cook out the moisture in them to be a bit drier, that they'll actually start re-sticking together. Not sure on that one. Did our music stop? Yeah, why did our music stop? Fix my earbud volume. Hey, Muskeg. Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday to you. Coffee got cold. Why is the camera not following me anymore? You see how it's still sort of dark colored? It's still damp. It is very potato-y. It's at least 50, well, it's at least 40% potato. But I would guess 50, 55-ish. There's a fair amount of flour in there now, too. But I do have, like, pieces of potato, like, falling out of this as I'm flattening them. It's holding together pretty well, and that looks promising there. And it's bubbling now, too, just as I was turning. Yeah, I think we're going to have some okay tortillas, but they're taking a little bit longer. I put the flour away. I still needed that for one more. No egg, we're doing okay. We'll clean up our flour station now that we're done rolling. This one's a little thicker. This one might be the thickest one of the bunch. But I think that turned out pretty good for a tortilla. Got some decent flexibility there. I mean, it hasn't cooled. It's gonna lose that flexibility as it cools, but I think that's pretty good for just mashing it together with a can and eyeballing the flour. We already got some nice cook patterns going on that. It's going to take us a minute to get through these tortillas. Our oven's at the temp. Let's throw our crumble in there. And give a look at that after 30 minutes. Hi, Alex. That must have been one of the new AI ones that slipped past me. There's not supposed to be combo words. Not supposed to be combo words. That's 2 words, it's not 1. Has anyone else ever seen a pecan pie? Is that like some strange animal? I don't know, it could actually be a word and me being messed up, but I'm pretty sure that's pecan pie mashed into one word. For those just joining in, we're searing tortillas that were made from canned potatoes that I am then going to later fry to turn into nachos. Let's see what's the bot got for up current news. Ooh. Food influencer. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that on stream though. 100-year-old ice cream franchise is leaving Houston area. But there's a twist. There's a new spin-off. Yeah. We're leaving, but we're not really leaving. We're just annoyed with our lease. But we're going to make national news over it. Actually, it's international news if I'm talking about it, isn't it? Not much there. Cooking trends, rescue me. Give me something to talk about. Tequila, no. How eating red meat the right way boosts brain and microbiome health. That might be a little controversial. Guest finds metal bolt in salad at Walt Disney World. Ooh, I hope they didn't sign up for Disney Plus. And that's the news for this evening. Have we burnt this one while I was waiting? Pretty close. Anyone else got food news to talk about? I just posted something in Discord in the food section, didn't I? What did I post in Discord? Oh no, that was last night. Yeah, apparently it's a bad year for wine. Apparently they can't sell grapes and people are talking about the end of an era. That's a... Things that are good news. Welcome. We got any good news out there? That was my extent to try and talk about news without talking about bad things, which it still didn't sound all that great, did it? But at least I wasn't talking about worse things. We got any... Well... That doesn't look very mustardy. Does that look like a mustardy... Like, it's almost like the can lid is a little more... Like, that doesn't look like mustardy chili to me. It's got some sag to it. It's warming up. Now is your weekly reminder that we have a new vote up for next week's ingredient challenge between starfruit and yogurt. Yogurt running away with that one. See if this one holds together. Let's try the potted meat. Not in love with that texture. Yeah, it's Spam. It's got a little bit of a... I don't want to call it... It's got some sort of like a spice flavor to the finish of it. That... I say spice finish and people are probably going to think of something more complex. But it's got almost like a spicy finish compared to Spam. but it's not spicy. It's just the best way that I like. It's almost like they added a little cayenne without adding the cayenne. I don't know how else to say it. Like, and not bad, not good news, Canada. Yeah. Oh, maybe that's. Oh, you mean maybe in Europe? Like, US has low requirements on what we call a beer. Canadians have beers that have much higher proofs than we do. I assume Europe does too. Like, you can sell things that are higher proofs. Like, we have the Utopia series from Sam Adams that are like practically distilled. But I think the standards of what's legally a beer in the US and can be sold as a beer, it's much lower of a standard. Because a lot of places here, a lot of the states have a difference between beer, wine, and hard liquor, spirits, other drinks. And so there's a fair number of stores and restaurants and stuff like that that will have beer and wine. But that beer and wine, the terminology is more for like import, export, and what you can legally serve in what places than this is a beer and this isn't. But that's interesting. Like, maybe they're like, yeah, maybe Gen Z doesn't drink. It's so dry. Yeah, I can respect that idea too, actually. I didn't really continue on that other than saying... But yeah, it is... Don't go out to get hammered, go out to have a good time. I guess there's a percentage of the population that just goes out to get hammered, but... I feel sorry for them. I've had a fair number of alcoholics in my distant family, and yeah, it's just addictions are nasty, and they're a solution to the person, but they're not a solution. They're not a solution to the problem, but they're the only solution they typically see. I'm going to try and saute that. I have a feeling that that's going to sort of almost dissolve or like stick to the pan. So it's probably just going to become part of the chili, but I'm going to try and keep it separate. Alright, that was the last of our tortillas. Let's try sauteing some meat. I'm hoping this is going to sort of fry like bologna and be able to get a little browning color on it. But I don't 100% think that's going to happen. And it'll help with that, well, that's sort of a double-edged sword, you know, because you give people lower alcohol, they think they can have one more before they go home. And they really shouldn't be having any before they go home on their own. But it is nicer when, you know, you're out just to have a fun evening and chill and don't want to have a beer that knocks you out. And 16 ounces, 20 ounces, 16. This is browning up pretty nicely. I'm rather surprised by that. Nicely surprised. Making a roux over here on the other side for our cheese sauce. Heat off on that for a moment. It's looking more like hot dog meat now. I know it's essentially the same thing regardless, but it's changed from looking like Spam to hot dog. What did I walk over here for? Ah, one of you. I don't care which one of you, just one of you. Get out of there. Gonna add another can. Evaporated milk. Evaporated, not condensed. Evaporated. Okay, awesome. Turn the heat off on the meat because we can keep that separate. So we'll finish that right when I'm ready to put it on there. But I had to start with it early if it was going to end up being in the chili. So we'll heat up chili over here. Actually, let's switch. Let's use this for this. And since chili doesn't have beans, let's add our beans to our chili. Sorry, no beans, chili people. You voted for beans, so I had to put the beans with the chili. You like how I got chat to blame chat? I like how that happened. I'm gonna gotta shred some cheese to throw in there before that's ready to go. And our chili is bubbling already. Okay, good there. We'll turn the heat off on that. Come on, you're telling me that didn't cut through? Now it cut through. Now we can do a little more than that. Ooh, forgot about you. Our crumble may be ready. We have a cranberry Biscoff peanut crumble in the oven right now. I think I want to give that a little longer. It's looking good, but it's going to look better. It's been in there for 30 minutes at 350. It's about 70% bubbled to the top. The center of it's still a little... Turn the heat back on underneath our cheese sauce here. And this is Monterey Jack cheese I'm using. I chose Monterey over cheddar for nachos. I hope you all approve. I feel like this is somewhat sticking more than I want it to be. Yeah, there's definitely buildup of the roux on the bottom there, and it's obviously thickened up slightly since I mixed that in there, but noticeably to me, probably less so to all of you. Salt. Salt. Less salt over there. Pepper. Salt's over here is mostly for the beans. The chili's probably more than fine. We'll cheat with our color on our cheese here. Bunch of cheddar popcorn seasoning that's probably mostly turmeric. Garlic powder. Onion powder. Dried thyme. Start heating our oil for doing our frying. Sort of curious what their, I should have tried it before, but I'm a little curious what the coney chili was like. Oh well. It's the reason I bought it in the first place. I was curious what the... I've been sort of intrigued by coney chilies lately because they're all sort of chilies, but they're all very thin. They all have very different methods for keeping them cheap. And they're not like, they're closer to what they would use for like a Cincinnati chili, but they're not, definitely not like Texas chili. Yeah. Cumin's one of those. We've cut down the amount of protein in this dish, but it tastes savory still. Spices. So we've chopped our tortillas, and we're 150-ish on that. What am I missing on these nachos, chat? I'm not making salsa because I don't have anything but canned tomatoes. I don't have the other real crucial parts to it too. Like I got jarred citrus juice, and I'm throwing pickled jalapenos on it already, but don't have the onion. Like, this sort of like two pantry streams here where I haven't had much of a pantry, and I actually thought while I was in the store, oh, I'm out of cheese too, and bought the cheese that I'm using. Variety of chili powders, light on the cumin. Yeah, chili's about the chili. It's not about all these other background flavors. Like, a lot of people want to throw the kitchen sink in there, and it's just overcomplicating things. I'm gonna go with that. We finally got that cranberry to melt and bubble. It only took an hour in the oven. 40 minutes. We'll let that cool and show you what that's like after it cools down. I can't leave it on top of the oil forever. Who in chat's buying a Steam Cube? Anyone out there ready to say they're going to buy this small little cube without knowing the tech specs or how much it's going to cost? Just off the basis that Steam's making it? Do we? I was not aware that we knew. I thought all that was released was, I haven't read in depth about it because I'm not a console user, but I thought the only thing they were saying was like 70%, which sounds like it's not raging brand new top of the line performance. Yeah. Not enough RAM. Need more RAM. Need more compute. Well, that's always, well, it seems like they're not even doing that. Like, it always was the thing with consoles was they were mass producing them so that they could be out there right at the bleeding edge of beginning in tech and claim that they're better for PCs for 3 to 6 months. And it seems like they're not even doing that. But if it gets more people playing games, it's all that they really need to do. Then again, it's probably going to be a heck of a lot cheaper than 5090 system. Like, it's not going to be cheap, but that's sort of like for sure because they're not releasing the info on the pricing, but that could be just because pricing changes week to week depending on the government. They just made all of our food cheaper. Yay! See how long that lasts. Yeah. Well, yeah. He says running off of a 3070. Or is it 3060? Might be a 3060. We're up to 250 on our fry. Almost there. Well, that's also what's his name, Burry's thing. Is anyone familiar with Michael Burry or his whole thing with the stock market and all of that? He was the guy in the big short, the guy with the whiteboard and the percentage. He is tweeting again like the world is ending, and his position is that all of these tech companies with the GPUs are massively overriding their write-offs on tech getting old, and they have created the AI bubble, this massive bubble of money that's been spent on tech that it's not being used under his definition. And you have a litany of people saying both ways, whether he's idiot savant, depending on who you're talking to. I don't know why I have these in my hand. We still need 100 degrees, don't we? Well, 70, but... Nice one, Dad joke. I approve that pool joke. I don't even know which I have, Zeke, so let me check which one I have on my PC. Yeah, it's 3060. 3060. We've made it to 300. And it's a little warmer than I want to touch with my hands still. Get some newspaper ready for... Tried to call this newspaper, but paper towels ready for collecting our fried tortillas. I think we're probably okay to start here. Yeah, 320, we can do that. Don't. Yeah, he doesn't really want to pay anyone back. It just sounds good. We're still auto-focusing. I thought I had fixed that. Want to go until we get most of those bubbles out of them. I mean, we're not going straight potato chips here, but we want them crunchy. Fine salt over our freshly fried chips. Cool. Or rather, not cool. Hot enough to continue. Yummy. Potato-y. Probably not going to be great when they get cold. But yeah, right now that was a pretty good time. That was a pretty good chip. Salt definitely helps. What I briefly sort of touched on there, though, I don't know if everyone heard the news or not tonight, but they wiped out tariffs on a large portion of food-based items. I don't know if that's because they think the Supreme Court is going to go against them, and they're just moving ahead of time, or if they decided to throw in the towel and admit that it's costing us money to do this. Sorry, bumped the microphone there. Fine salt over the newly removed chips. And last of the chips going in. This can be our biggest batch. But it's just been keeping heat the whole time, so we're going all in. The last batch. Two good guesses there, Dances. Welcome in. We ended up with cranberry paste, or cranberry, canned cranberry, which I turned into a Biscoff peanut and cranberry wiggling crumble. We've got nachos, which are using canned Croatian potted meat, no bean, what do you call it? Chili. I was talking about it earlier. Coney style chili with mustard and onions instead of beans. But we got chili beans too, or white chili beans, or pinto beans, or I forget what we got as far as beans, but we got beans. So beans and chili are together here. We got our potted meat up there. We've got our cranberry over here, and the tortillas I made using canned potatoes. Yeah, it's still a little warmer than I want to. So now heat on everything else. Get everything else warmed up here. Sort of an interesting convection going on here with the even just this metal whisk in here, or spider, is causing enough of a heat difference in this that it's causing a current. But we've got back here, we've got a, back here on the stove, we've got a Monterey Jack bechamel that's been seasoned. We've got our chili back to bubbling. Thank you, Dances. I think the tortillas came out quite beautifully myself. We're going to start this party out, our nacho party out here, with our cheese. Just trying to get a little on all of them. Next we'll go in with the beans and chili. Fried meat. Freeze-dried cilantro. Yay for stream streaks. We got any streakers in chat? Let's all go streaking, chat. Who's your favorite streamer to streak in? I think that's a winner of a dinner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. But I do think that is going to wrap up our plans for tonight. Give everyone a look at the sides of this loveliness. This turned out looking pretty good. We'll try this one too. This one's more slidey though. There's more potential for disaster here. Let me know what you think I did. Let me know how you think I did in the Discord, down in the comments below if you're on YouTube. Appreciate follows and likes, subscriptions and likes if you're on YouTube. Fun night tonight. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I was actually sort of hopeful to be able to do the nachos dish since I started doing the Can It Be Delicious challenge. So this is sort of fulfilling that wish. I think this turned out delicious. Not 100% sold on the meat. Like I said, it's right there with Spam. It's not Spam. It's a little different. Texture, it's so dried out as a texture. So very obviously how it's, a cheap canned product is it's low fat, other than the fats that, they're very controlling how much fat is in there. I think this was a winner of a dinner myself. But like I said, let me know in the comments, in the Discord. We'll be doing another one of these next month. Doing them on my normal schedule around the 15th. What we got scheduled for next month on as far as this. Do I have it in here already? I don't. It's going to be Monday the 15th, though. In December. So Monday the 15th next month. If you love the Can It Be Delicious nights. I am going to be back here tomorrow night, or Sunday night. Sorry, not tomorrow. Sunday. Going to be back here on Sunday. And I keep hyping this up, but we're going to be doing lasagna enchiladas. Lasagna enchiladas? I don't know how to properly pronounce it. We're combining enchiladas and lasagna for Sunday. Monday, went too far there. Pasta fagioli. Pasta and bean soup. I'm of course adding meat, but yeah. Thank you all for joining in with me tonight. I had fun with this, like I said earlier. I hope to see you back again soon. Oh, let's raid out. I want to raid out. I'm not going to wrap up that quick. Let's see who we can raid out to tonight. I'm going to go send you all off to go hang out with John Leon. Another long-time dedicated food and drink streamer. I think he's eating dinner with his folks now. I hope you all have a fabulous evening. And like I said, I hope to see you back here on Sunday for lasagna enchilada. I don't know. Thank you for joining me. Have a great night, everyone. Good night.